What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video I'm bringing you a special treat. You all know I have a very large eyeshadow collection, and one of the things I love doing behind the scenes is creating my own color stories, especially for palettes that I already own. And I think, you know what, she could have been perfect if they would have just added one of these or took away one of those. And I promise you all, in a previous tutorial, I'll leave that link right here above. In that tutorial by Adept Cosmetics, they brought us the Minka palette, and I kept saying, if they just had a few neutrals in there, she would be perfect. So guess what I did? Added them myself. And baby, tell me she is not absolutely stunning. Instead of saying, you know what, we got one big palette with 12 colors, in my mind, I tried to break this down as two 6 pans. One that's neutral for any and every day. Another side that's colorful for any and every night, honey. But because I've already played with a lot of these purple shades in my previous tutorial, I told myself, act like they don't exist and pull yourself off a beautiful neutral look for the girl who really wants to do something that's just basic. She's not trying to play with multi-chromes. She's not trying to do nothing loud. She wants to just sit back, be nice, comfortable. And you know what? I got you, sis. This palette can do that for you. So if you would like to know exactly what shades I added to this palette to create it, you're gonna have to wait till later on. But if you would like to see swatches of this palette, just keep on watching. Here, I guess on my hair, she look all right. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color green makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. Not sure exactly how I'm gonna edit this video, but we're gonna get it done. So let's get into it. Today we plan on having a lot of fun because this is a palette that we are going to reorganize. It is going to be the Adept Cosmetics Minka palette. I already have a tutorial up for this, so if you want to see what the original swatches look like, you can check out right here. I'll make sure I leave it linked above. But baby, get into this gorgeous color story here. Now, although I think the colors are absolutely beautiful, I had 2 main issues when I originally used this palette. The first was the fact that the only 2 mattes we had were 2 purples, so if for any reason I just wanted to do a basic neutral look, I would always have to dip into another palette. The other issue I had was 2 of these shades, which was a formula that just did not work for me. I felt as if could have just been kicked to the side so I can add those neutrals. Those 2 would have been this blue shade here, Luna, and this green shade here, Cora. Those 2, although they are beautiful in pan, for me, they were the 2 that were the hardest to work with. So what we're gonna do is just pop those out. I have a small magnet here. Whoop, almost dropped my magnet. And the best thing about Adept Cosmetics individual shadows is not only are they magnetized, but the name of the shadow is etched in the back. You see how this blue shade Luna, I want to make sure you all can cover that, has the name Luna etched in, so I don't even have to write it down. I don't have to worry about it getting mixed up. So we're just going to pull her to the side, and we're going to do the same thing with Cora. So now we have a palette that looks like this. She's missing 2 shades, and we're going to figure out which ones we want to add to that. And I already know that first off, we're going to dip into the heatheraustin palette. Have a tutorial up for this one as well. Make sure I leave that linked above. And in this heatheraustin palette, the neutral shade that I am after is this one here, Atlas. To me, she's like warm neutral, but leaning a little more neutral than warm to me because I'm not the biggest fan of oranges, but she'll go with almost anything. So from the heatheraustin palette, we're going to take that shade out and we're going to put her to the side. Let me give you all a quick view of what she looked like first before I pop her out. So you can see we're about to take Atlas straight from this palette. And we're going to put Atlas in Luna's spot for now. Then we're going to jump to the next palette, which is the Imhotep palette. Also have a tutorial up for this one, so I'll leave this linked above as well. And let me show y'all what she's looking like. This is Imhotep, and the shade we want from here is this deep dark brown shade here, Imhotep. He is the darkest neutral of them all. And of course, if I'm going to have something as a transition shade, I'm going to need something for my crease because I have hooded lids. So we're going to take Imhotep out, and we're going to put that where Cora was. And to me, by just taking that blue and green out and putting them like this, you instantly see how much more well-rounded this palette is. Those neutral shimmers have some neutral mattes to go with them. Those purple shimmers, same thing. And those multi-chromes, baby, they look beautiful. And just like this, I feel as if this is a more cohesive color story. But my eye is jumping all over the place. I like how these two mattes are right here next to these shimmers. So it's like, okay, Torrence, reorganize these, do the same thing with these colors here. I want this shade on top of that shade Cora. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna reorganize them and then I'm gonna show you the layout. Baby, I think she gorgeous. Get into this here. She is absolutely stunning, and it looks like a whole nother palette, and all we did was reorganize and switch out 2 shades. What I was thinking of is 6-pan palettes. And I love how on this side, we have a warm neutral side, perfect for every day, for the office, for the girl who's not a big fan of colors. But then if you want to take and be much more dramatic, you have a pinky purple side. This side has colorful mattes, colorful shimmers, multi-chromes, and I want to make sure I bring you all swatches of this palette to make sure I keep the color story cohesive. What I'm going to do is swatch the 4 shimmers and then these 2 mattes, and then for the last 6 I'll swatch these 4 shimmers and then these 2 mattes. I'm not going to do straight across because then you'll start with neutrals, go to purples, and then go back and forth, and I want you all to see the layout that I can see in my head when I look at this palette. First, I wanted to show you all the packaging. This is very reflective, so it will create a glare. But Adept Cosmetics has very sleek and easy to clean packaging. So if you're someone like me who loves doing swatches or planning foundation, this will be very easy to clean off. Once I tilt it, you'll see that the glare will start to come through. So it may appear a little darker than normal, but this is like a very neutral champagne color, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Inside, you see we have a color story that is phenomenal. The left side is warm neutral, the right side is purple and colorful, and once we get to tilting things, you'll see the shift on those multi-chromes on the right hand side. But get into her, honey. You have pink tones, you have yellow tones, we have warm neutrals, we have cool colorful shades. Things in this palette offers you a variety of looks. Whether you're going to the club or the office, you'll be able to pull things off with this palette here. But I don't want it all to be a glare, honey. I still want to show you all those swatches because that's where the true beauty comes in at. Now sis, you know Adept Cosmetics brings beautiful shadows, but tell me, this here is not cohesive, it's not pigmented, it's not shiny and reflective. We got neutrals, we got multi-chromes, we got mattes. Honey, this is absolutely beautiful. And I'm trying to make sure I show you all my arm shifting so you can see the way those multi-chromes beam in the light. Honey, I am truly ecstatic to go ahead and get into this, but it's all about the performance, honey. It can't just be about how pretty things are. It got to show you how beautiful things are on the eyes. So go ahead and grab your brushes because you know I'm about to grab mine. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get things started. As with all tutorials, all tools and product shields will be in the description bar below. So if you want to know about something that I use and I forget to mention it, just check out there. Also, I need to make sure I calm down before we get started because baby, look at all of this eye primer I got down. Like that is a ton, but I was dipping my brush a little too hard, jamming the music off camera. But it's time to get into it because my Minka, honey, I've been excited to show you all what she looks like, how she gonna perform, and honey, get into this. Tell me she is not beautiful. With my first tutorial with the Minka with the Minka palette, I think I used most of the shades on this left hand side. I know for sure I used at least these top two and these four. So we want to try to stick to this side of the palette for today. And because you already know, this is supposed to be the neutral side, the quote unquote natural side, we're going to start off with a transition shade. And baby, did I forget the name of that shade? No, I don't even have to look at it. I already know what it is. We're going to go into this shade here. It's called Atlas. Although she's in this palette here, we know she's from the heatheraustin palette. Hey, Heather. So we're going to take that with our fluffiest blending brush, use her as a transition shade throughout the entire crease. Ooh, baby, I done left my brushes sitting the wrong way, and now one side of my rougher brush is flat. You see how this side is fluffed out? Baby, so I got to remember that before we dip into this. And because we know we can always build up later, we're going to tap off all excess, and we're just going to take this throughout our entire crease, honey. You know, you like to start off low just to make sure we got all our pigmentation there, and then you're just going to raise it to diffuse those edges. And look at the color on that with just the first layer. You all know I'm not the biggest fan of straight up orange shades, but things that lean a little more neutral are absolutely beautiful. And you see how we can blend this shade out as a transition. But if I truly believe on my complexion, she can go in the crease. It's just that I have hooded lids. I like deep, dark shades. So if I want to cut my crease or anything, or use even the lightest shade underneath it, it'll be seen. And you can see that color by itself is pigmented enough to go straight on the lid. But because we got y'all here and I want y'all to see this till its fullest capacity, we're going to tap her off again. I keep having to remind myself that one side of my brush today is flat. We're going to start off low in the crease. Like you see how it starts off that deep. But then as you buff her up and out and you blend things, that shade definitely softens up. And we want to take that up as high as our brush will let her go. I'm using a rougher 27. And we're just going to buff that up and out, honey. Yes, ma'am, the pigmentation on her is gorgeous, gorgeous. And then you just want to stop, look and see, is there anything we are missing? I want just a little bit more on this outer end. I have a bone right here by my eye socket, and she always makes it just a little bit harder to diffuse the edges there. But other than that, honey, she gorgeous. Now that we have a fabulous transition going on, we need to deepen up our crease. So we're going to come to this deeper, darker brown here. This is the shade Imhotep. This came from the Unit palette. So we're going to take this with a slightly smaller blending brush, go into the crease and deepen things up. And we're going to take that all the way throughout the entire crease. Baby, I promise you we're not going to do this again. I done did this brush too. Nah, honey. This color did not come into play, and she's rather dark, so we're going to give her a difficult, real hard tap, because I know we can come back in and build her up. I want to first go in, see what that color's like, then build her up. We don't want her to take over. So we're going to start on the outer end, lower part, and work our way into the crease. And that's what I'm talking about, honey. Because this color is so pigmented, I want to be able to work slowly and add more depth and dimension. You don't want to go in and all of a sudden realize it's way darker than what you initially wanted it to be, and now you got to figure out how to lighten things up. And you see how fast that builds and that blends, but I know I want more depth and dimension than this, because you can see this side is definitely darker and deeper than this side, but by going slowly, it allows us the option to go in and do another layer. So we're going to once again tap rather hard because we want to get off as much as we can and go in once more. Keep that brush nice and low. Build up the pigmentation first, and then once you're convinced that you don't have too much product on the brush, that's when you want to slightly raise it in the crease to diffuse those edges. You start off high and you're gonna have that dark color high. It's better to keep her low and bring her up. Thing is, because this brush is smaller than the transition brush, she won't cover up that transition shade unless we physically place her above the crease. But right here, down low into the crease, honey, look at this. Beautiful, deepen things up, and I want a little more. I'm debating on whether I want to do my outer V. Something telling me I really should go ahead and do it. We gonna skip that, because baby, that's gonna add a little more drama to the outer V, and we ain't trying to do that. So we just gonna keep this here. And baby, loving it. All right, you guys, now it's time to cut our crease, and I must admit, I'm bitter as an ex who was dumped on their birthday. My NYX glitter primer, I just knew I was gonna be finished with it by the end of last year. Got sick about 2 weeks beforehand. No ma'am, couldn't do it. So, we're gonna try to finish her up in January. We're gonna go ahead and get her started, and I think I honestly just put too much on the back of my hand. See, that's why we gotta stay in routine. But we're just gonna take this and put this on the lid, and we're gonna cover all the way from the front to the back. I'm not worried about cutting my crease or anything. Just placing this brush as deep into the socket as it'll go, and rocking her back and forth. Because I'm trying to make sure this look is a little more professional and a little more neutral, I'm trying my best not to do things like cut creases or wing liner or things like that that'll draw attention. Just like that. Now it is time to get us some lid shades, and I'm sitting back looking like, baby, it's a variety to choose from, but I want to make sure I get the names right. So for the inner half, we're going to come to this shade here, Layla, and we're going to put that down. Then for the outer half, we're going to come down here to this shade here, Nora. We're going to use that. Okay, I have my silicone applicator here. You all know normally I would prefer to use a brush, but before this palette even launched, they let it be known. This product will work best with the finger. I'm not the biggest fan of fingers, so if you don't like using your fingers, get you a silicone applicator. We're going to put this right here on the inner half, because I got big old fat sausage fingers and I like precision, and this applicator allowed me to do so. Look at the beam and shine on that, baby. Oh my goodness. We ain't even went all the way to the halfway point. We ain't even seen how much product this applicator can hold for this shade, and I'm already in love, honey. This shade look like she'll be the prettiest by itself, just all over the lid. And I'm trying to take it a little less than half to always remind myself we can always blend it out, but once you go too far, honey, it's just that. But because she is the lighter shade, I really don't mind. But look at that, honey. Beaming all the way over there, and I still got product left on here. I could go back in and get a little more, but you know what? We're gonna leave that like that, because she's coming off gorgeous and opaque and shimmery. Get into her. I'm staring at this shade because it's like, okay, I know Nora looks beautiful in the pan, but yellow base golds just don't do it for me. I love a yellow base matte. It's just yellow golds come off looking like jaundice to me, especially with my warm complexion. So we're gonna go in slow. We're gonna try, because I ain't never had her before. But we just gonna pray. Just, Lord, don't let this be a bar of yellow gold brick. Just give it a little neutral tone to her. Let's see what we got going. Okay, yeah, baby, she's still coming off rather extremely yellow. But you know what? The shine on this, and it looks like she might have the slightest green hue to her. Okay. See, I'm trying to pack as much as I can on this outer corner, because baby, I have hooded lids, and I already know if I don't cover a certain area, it'll come off really, really patchy the more I blink. And the main thing I'm trying to do is just take this and blend it up toward the front over that center point. But I want to make sure this yellow gold don't take over But baby, she's nice and pretty, okay? I see you trying to come through on your own, sis. You see I'm pushing her all the way up right there into the crease, because if I don't, with my hooded lids, it'll go there anyway. Boom, bam, pow. Alright you guys, this is all we're going to do for the lids right now. I'm going to cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the lower lash line. Alright you guys, we are back, and I must tell you, although this look pulled together and she looks fabulous, it was a struggle off camera to get things going. And I'm not going to tell you everything because I do have an upcoming review on it, but I do want to give you a few pointers on, first up, the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. Testing her out for the very first time, and the one thing I want to tell you is the shades do not correlate between foundations. In the original matte foundation, I believe I wear shade 510. With this new Radiant, they did not come out with 510. They had 505 and 515, and neither one of them is a perfect match. This is 515, I have her on, but because I'm big on contouring and things like that, blush, adding all other layers to my makeup, I was able to make her work. But you are definitely gonna have to go 2, if not 3 shades deeper than what you think you are to get the perfect match, because 515 is way, way too light. And I remember seeing Karen Harris, she tested out shade 505 and she said the same thing. Way, way too light for her complexion. I'll leave Karen Harris's video up right here. And it was just crazy to think that, you know, okay, I'm like, okay, if she didn't get that shade, I'll get a different one. Yeah, you're gonna have to really go in store, check those out, because buying it online from Juvia's Place, you might be in trouble. What else do I want to focus on? The lips. For lip liner, just a basic straight living lip liner from the Lip Bar. But the gloss that I'm wearing, honey, get into those. When I tell you, my lips look full, they look plumped, they look like I just came from Kylie Jenner's doctor's office. Like, honey, fill her up. The problem is, this set here, I got her, I believe, before Christmas, because I know my local Ulta had her sold out before Christmas got here. I usually collect every shade of the Gloss Bomb except the Heat formula. Their cream formula, their original formula, whether they come in a full size or a mini, I have to have her. With Heat products, they are plumping glosses, and I don't do plumping. I once tried out that Too Faced lip injection. When I tell you, I have never run to the sink so fast to wash my mouth off because I thought someone was literally stabbing me in the lips. I bought this simply because I wanted the first 2 shades, but then, what was her name? Early August, I'll make sure I leave her channel right here above. I was watching her on TikTok because I love her YouTube, and she let me know this is her new favorite. She absolutely loves it. She goes nowhere without it, and it doesn't burn as much as many other plumping glosses. Because it was in the shade Fenty Glow Heat. And Fenty Glow, I keep several of them around at all times. I keep one in my bag, one right here, one in backup. I'm like, we're going to trust August and we're going to go ahead and test her out. All I can say is, although I'm willing to push through and make her work, I'm not going to say she does not have no sensation. It's a light sensation. Let's say if, because I'm not big on spicy foods, I can tell if I eat spicy wings and then lick my lips, I'll have that slight burning sensation. It's sort of like this. But when I look at how smooth and how plump my lips look, it's like, Torrence, I know you said you don't like that type of formula, and I don't see me buying any more shades just because it's like, But I'm telling you, the look of my lips today, yes, ma'am. Oh, it's like fabulous. So I'll be able to take these out. I don't know why I put it back in the box just to show you all. The kid that came in probably. But I am wearing this shade here and we're going to keep her moving. Most other things is basic stuff that I wear on the face all the time. I'll leave all of that in the description bar. But I got a live going up at 7 o'clock. And what time is it? 6:10. So we need to finish this up. So let's go ahead and grab our brushes. Because we kept things rather simple on the top, we're going to go ahead and just repeat that on the bottom. We're going to take our 2 matte shades and we're going to take a larger pencil brush and this shade here, Atlas. We're going to buff that out. Then we're going to take a smaller pencil brush and this shade here, Imhotep, and we're going to deepen up the crease. Not the crease, the lower lash line. And baby, I know Atlas is pigmented, so let's tap her off. We're going to go nice and slowly on the outer end. We're just going to buff her closer to the front. We're going to take our time because I have a very bright under eye today and I know that brown will catch. Make sure she meets on the outer end. And baby, I don't even think we have to double dip because this color is so pigmented and so smooth. She's getting it done in one layer. Oh yeah, you all can see that on camera. And remember, Imhotep is very pigmented and buildable. Tap her off as well. We can always come back in for a little bit more. Start on the outer end, make sure things connect again, and buff her up and out. And normally I have to dip twice because this brush is so small and my eyes are so large. But with this color, we may not have to. We just want to take and work slowly. I just want this to deepen things up. I do not want it to take over. Yes, a smoky lower lash line, not a black eye. And now to finish off the eyes, my favorite part of eyeshadow, highlighting my inner corners and my brows. And to do that, we're going to go into this lighter shimmer shade on this side. It's called Layla. And I'm going to first test her out with a flat shader brush. I know it's supposed to work best with the finger, but I don't want to use a silicone applicator on my inner corners. So we're just going to use that with the natural brush and build her up. Then we'll just use the remaining product underneath the brows. And I don't think I have as much product as I would like on the brush. So we're going to still test her out first. And if I can't get it, then we'll just switch to the silicone applicator. But we're going to put her right here on the center. And we're going to try to build her up. And although I see her starting to come through, is she building up? Okay, wait, she is building up right there. I can see her. I see her in person, but I don't think in camera. Yeah, no, I'm not liking that, honey. Okay, yeah, honey, I just tried to do that there. She ain't giving me what I want. So we're going to take the very side of my silicone applicator and put that in here and try to use that. Okay, you see I got it right here on the very end of the brush instead of on the wide flat part because I don't want to have too much product. So we're going to use this and we're going to press that right there on the inner corner. Okay, yeah, see baby, that's how you get it popping immediately. And then we're just going to connect that on the top. Baby, I know y'all see that being... Yeah, she's showing out once she used the silicone applicator, so baby, it's just the way it is. They said that they formulated these to be used with the finger. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of that, we're going to go ahead and have to just follow that and use our silicone applicator whenever we want to. Because baby, my fat sausage fingers ain't going to reach right there in that center. So I'll be back after I do this on the other side. And because I know that'll leave way too much product with a silicone applicator underneath the brows, we're going to take our natural hair brush and we're just going to go into our face highlighter. This is Oh Darling from MAC. Y'all know I'm going to keep one of these on deck. And we're just going to swipe that a few times and just put this on. Don't really need much. It's just a step that I like to do. And we're going to put it right there at the arch. Bring her back. And baby, that's all she needs. Ooh, and some of those reflexes being left behind. Okay, it look like Layla is mixing in with Oh Darling. Baby, come through with the beauty. Alright you guys, this is all we're going to do for the face. But there's no point of putting in all this work unless we're going to lock it in. So grab your setting sprays because you know I'm about to grab mine. And you all know the phrase, let's go ahead and get into it. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All-nighter so things will last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to dry and I'll be back to give you all my final thoughts. And here's the final look. I want to go ahead, give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you, she fabulous. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Come on. Adept Cosmetics. Look at her. Do you see the way those neutrals shine? Do you see how those mattes just filled in the crease just enough to give you some depth and dimension, but not enough to take over because we didn't go in and just take and build every color up to their full opacity? We wanted to show you, you can go in and do a soft neutral look for the everyday, for the office, but if you wanted to go in and do some colorful, over-the-top dramatic looks, check out my last Minka video. So baby, ain't no point in me even sitting back and, do I like this? Honey, if it was something about the palette I didn't like, I would have got rid of that shade. I got rid of the 2 shades that I felt as if held this palette back and added 2 more that I felt as if took it to the next level. And baby, you see, this look is fabulous. But the beauty of it is, I could have just went in with these 2 neutral shades, and once I do that, any and every other shimmer in this palette will build on top of it. The only thing this palette don't have, which to me, which would make it like perfect, is a matte black. I love a matte black. I love a matte black smoky eye. And to me, deepening up a dark purple, fabulous. But I understand, 1, we all have a matte black, and 2, everybody doesn't feel that way. Everybody don't need it. And to know I can always just reach into a black. I can grab a black eyeliner and just smudge it on the outer end, blend her up if I want to. I don't necessarily need a black eyeshadow. So, baby, I am hoping y'all is loving this look because she is stunning. She is stunning. And now that I have her like this, it's like, Torrence, you know you got to take these shades out and put them back because you don't have 2 of the Minka palettes and 2 of the heatheraustin. And every time you use your heatheraustin palette, you're going to want this shade Atlas right here. You're going to need that. So I'm sitting back like, but she is just so pretty. I've perfected the Minka palette, in my opinion, for my collection, and I don't want to tear her down. But that's the one thing about makeup, honey. You get to have fun, but everything got to be cleaned up. And I got a mess over here that's been made, baby, because I got brushes. They need to be cleaned. Products that I use need to be disinfected, like the highlighter and stuff that I use today, because you all know I don't like to double dip into makeup with old brushes. All of this got to be cleaned, and I want to get this look up for you all. It is about a half an hour before my next tutorial up, so I know I got plenty of time to sit back, talk, take pictures and all of that. So let's go ahead and get that going. Please, please, please stay tuned because I will be bringing you all a full tutorial and wear test of the Juvia's Place foundation in order to find out, you know, about the longevity and things. I really wanted to wear it first. I didn't want this to be a first impressions. And right now, the only thing I can honestly say my biggest complaint about it is the color. Just make sure if you buy it, you go deeper. Do not try to shade match because it won't work. But baby, I am sitting back like, Torrence, you is sitting in neutrals. You not wearing full coverage and you still feel fabulous. Baby, I'm loving it. So I hope you all truly did enjoy today's look. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also, please let me know if you all picked up the Minka palette and if you liked it. Also, let me know if you have that heatheraustin or that Imhotep palette because I have tutorials for all of them. So make sure you check out the description bar below for those. If there's another palette from any other brand in my collection, I'll make sure I leave my collections video right here. Or just another palette from Adept Cosmetics that you all would like to see me recreate, go ahead, let me know. We're trying to get back into the, you know, routine of things of playing around in makeup, getting my videos up 3 times a week, and I wanted to make sure I started early. I'm recording this on Friday to make sure she's up on Sunday for you all, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and record Tuesday's video because what are we gonna do for Tuesday? Oh, I told y'all, Surge from Blit Bunny. So make sure y'all are tuned for that. But I keep looking down like, this makeup is so cute, but I gotta cut this off because I gotta get pictures and stuff. So we're gonna end it right now. With nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.